Hi, welcome to my tutorial on how to create a bolt in Solidworks. Today we're going to model a 1/2 inch 13 cap screw. Here you can see the final product. This is what we'll be making today. So let's get started. So go ahead and create a new part. We'll start by making extrude, select your right plane, select your polygon tool, make sure it's got 6 sides. We'll drag up, click, hit escape, control click the center and this top point and make those vertical. And then we can define this width to be 3/4 of an inch. Say OK. And the head height is going to be 5/16. Next we will make an extrude. This will become the body. So we will create a circle. And I'm going to go ahead and make this the major diameter of our, same as our major diameter of our thread, so 0.4985. And the length of our bolt is just going to be 2 inches. So here we've got the basic shape of our bolt. Let's go ahead and add a Lead-In Chamfer. So typically when you're modeling, a good practice is to model like your part would be made in real life. And so we're going to model this like it's going to be lathed, but typically these threads would be cut on some sort of thread die cutter or something. Let's go ahead and create our thread profile. Select the front plane. And here we just want to draw the rough outline of what our thread tool is going to look like. There. And then we can add some center lines. Let's make this vertical. Let's add a center line from here of our bolt. Let's go ahead and constrain this to be collinear. Now these dimensions I'm getting are from Machinery's Handbook. If you notice, I'm going to dimension this as a diameter because that's how they're called out in Machinery's Handbook. If I click up here, it'll dimension it as a radius. If I click down here, it's going to dimension it as a diameter. So we'll do below the center line. This is going to be the minor diameter, which is 0.4069. And if I do this again with the major diameter, select the center line and say 0.4985. And then I can dimension this angle to be 60 degrees. Also, this width, according to Machinery's, is 0.25 times our pitch, which is 13 threads per inch, or 1/13. So there's our fully defined thread profile. So the next thing we want to do is tell SolidWorks what path to follow for this thread profile. So we're going to insert a curve, a helix, and we're going to select this plane right here. And then we're going to make, because this surface passes through this line, we're going to convert that entity onto this plane that we had selected, and this line is going to pass through that thread profile. So if we say OK, it's going to go ahead and create our helix. want to make the thread height 1.25 inches. In our pitch, you can have Solidworks do the math for you. 13 threads per inch, or 1/13. Accept that. Now we just need to tell it to sweep this cut. We've defined our profile, and then we need to tell it to take this path. And here you can see a preview of the material it's going to remove. And here you have your cap screw with the threads on it. Now if you notice, it abruptly kind of stops here. This isn't really realistic to what would be lathed. Your tool is going to end up taking that material out. So if you want, you can make an extruded cut. You can select that face, tell it you want to make a cut there, select convert entities of that same selected face. It's going to take those edges of that face, and you can just tell it, I want to cut through the whole part. So that's a little bit slightly more realistic. You can stop there if you like, or you can add some cosmetic details. You can create a fillet here. You can make that 3/1000 or then typically bolts have these rounded edges up top, so you can create an extrude. Select your circle feature. If you select both of those, you can make them tangent to fully define that sketch. Say you want to flip the side to cut, so it's going to cut to the outside, but you don't want to cut all of that off. That wouldn't make any sense. So you want to draft this cut 60 degrees outwards. And you've got these nice rounded edges. And there you have it. That's a half 13 bolt, 2-inch length. We threaded 1.25 inches. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.